Hello, everyone, and welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Doing well. Drinking some. I know this is a Starbucks cup, and I'm not endorsing, but I have some other better coffee in here.
Good. So today we are talking about the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Sobremesa Short Churchill. This is close to a Robusto size, 4 3/4 inches by 48 ring gauge. Comes out of the Hoya de Nicaragua factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is listed as Ecuadorian Habano Grade 1 Dark Rosado. Binder is Mexican Matacapan Negro de Tempero, and the filler is Nicaraguan GK Condega, CSG Seco, Nicaraguan Pueblo Nuevo Criollo Viso, Nicaraguan La Jolla Esteli C98 Viso, Nicaraguan ASP Esteli Hybrid Ligero, and Pennsylvania Broadleaf Ligero. So very detailed filler blend. Blended by Steve Saka. Price point on the cigar is $10.45, and the release date was July of 2016. So with the long list of details out of the way, Jiunn, what was your pre-light experience like?
My pre-light experience was really good. I thought that the wrapper itself has a very smooth, very silky smooth Rosado wrapper to it. Things well pressed, seems tight. Bunching and roll seems pretty well done. I got a nice uniform give to this cigar when I was feeling it through my fingers, and I didn't feel any soft spots. In the head, finish off with a pretty well lit here triple cap. On the pre-light nosing experience, nosing the wrapper, I got some spicy cedar and barnyard. Nosing the foot, I got some dried red chilies, some dry nuttiness, and some regular sweet natural tobacco to it. Cold draw, spicy cedar, dry cardboard, and a little bit of a musk going on. So overall, very good.
Yeah. The wrapper was a deep reddish brown, had a shade lighter color surrounding the veins. The veins that are visible were fairly thin, and the seams in the cigar were nearly invisible, and the triple cap was really nicely applied. Two bands, primary being the crown, and the foot band denotes Sobremesa. Primarily the golden color. They have brown backgrounds, and I think the brown is supposed to almost mimic the wrapper color as close as possible, so that it looks like the gold items are floating on the wrapper. The aroma from the wrapper was a mix of leather and hay. Foot aroma was like a mildly sweet raisin. Pre-light draw is an even milder sweet raisin, as well as a little bit of leather that was there. So overall, very good. So getting into flavor, first third through final third, what was your experience like?
Starting from the first third, given that it's a shorter cigar, my ideal response would be, or delivery of the cigar would be, to immediately head to dead running with good flavors. And I felt like the cigar did provide that in the sense of, I upon initial draw, I got a lot of full, distinct flavors. I got a really great balance of like a creamy chocolate, dry white pepper spice, barnyard, and oak. So, those flavor notes that I just talked about was just in abundance, very distinct, and just tasty, I thought. About an inch in, I thought that there was a residual heated spice on the palate. On the retro, I got spicy oak, bread, creamy nuts, and a very distinct, I got like what I called it as a de-skinned dry almond. So and what I mean by that is, when the skin of a dried almond is on it, it creates a bit of a bitterness and a filminess to it. But when it's de-skinned, you just get that creamy texture of the nuts. So that's what I mean by that. And finish, long lasting, providing spicy oak, bread, de-skinned dry almonds. Bodies somewhere in the medium full mark. Strength is somewhere in between medium full mark. On the second third, most noticeable transition is the strength. The strength, where the first third, what I was saying, it was between medium full. It ran right up to a medium full. Flavors are still full and distinct, still having the balanced notes of creamy chocolate, dry white pepper, and barnyard and oak. And on the nose, still that spicy oak, bread, de-skinned dry almonds. The finish continued to be long and lasting with spicy oak, bread, de-skinned dry almonds, and then introduction of a little bit of a wood bitterness to it. Body's still at the medium full mark, though. Moving on to the very last third. I'd say the two main differences between the second third and the last third, the profile for me became slightly more wood dominant, but still very distinct and full. Creamy chocolate, dry white pepper, and barnyard. The retro still had that spicy oat bread and deskin almonds. Finish still long and lingering with spicy oat bread, deskin almonds, and wood bitterness. And body and strength within the final third stayed at the medium full mark. So overall, it was a I know this is I think Steve said this particular short Churchill is a little bit of a deviation, or it is a deviation from his other Sobremesa Vitolas, where he was trying to achieve a certainly a stronger version and more of a punch. And my palate told me that I got that. So it's in line with what he was, trying to achieve, I think. So he hit the mark on that.
Yeah, for me, the initial draws brought a heavy dose of cinnamon with some wood in the background. And then a quarter-inch in, the cinnamon mellowed down and became even with the wood, which is more defined as oak. At 3/4 of an inch in, some cream came in and joined in with the cinnamon and the oak. And the retrohale was creamy oak with a little bit of cinnamon in the background. And then an inch in, that creamy oak really pushed to the front, and that cinnamon was just a background note at that point. And the strength was just slightly above medium in that first third. Getting into the second third, some cinnamon came back to the profile along with that creamy oak. And then after a few draws, I began to get a bit of a vegetal note that went along with that creamy oak and the cinnamon finish. After a few more draws, that vegetal note went away. And then at 1/2 inch in, the cinnamon went away and that creamy oak is what remained. At an inch in, a little bitterness joined in with that creamy oak. And the retrohale was primarily oak with some cream and a little bit of pepper in the background. And the strength was still at slightly above medium. And then getting into the final third, it began primarily as oak in the mouth and on the retrohale. And then a 1/4 inch in, some cream came back to the profile to kind of go along with that oak. And then at 3/4 of an inch in, some mintiness joined in with that creamy oak profile. And that's pretty much how the cigar finished out for me. And the strength finished out kind of going up a little bit, and it was medium full. So getting into performance, burn and draw, what was your performance like?
I thought the burn was really good. The total smoking time for this was 4.75 inch by 48, right?
Yeah.
I got an hour and 35 minutes out of it, which is pretty darn good. So to me, it's not a short smoke by any means, but it's right there and before my ADD kicks in.
Yeah.
So burn line was a little bit wavy throughout the entire time, but it wasn't a major issue because all the leaves burned in unison, and I didn't have any issues with that. I just held on fairly tight and sturdy, averaging 1 inch increments. So good burn. The draw was perfect. I thought that it had just the right amount of resistance and no issues and no complaints at all in that sense.
Yeah, the burn for me was pretty razor sharp the entire time, and it's kind of similar to you. Ash's held on for me about 3/4 inch increments, so that was good. I really had nothing bad to say about the burn, and then same for the draw. It was just the right amount of resistance that I like. There's no issues with that at all. It was free flowing for me, and I was able to get all the smoke and flavor out of it that I wanted. So it was perfect. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
I like the cigar. As I was kind of mentioning earlier when we were talking, that I felt like this was like a punchier version in terms of strength and spice. So it's not, if you're looking for, and then you smoke the other Sobremesa lines before this one came out, and you're looking for that refined Sobremesa taste, well, this isn't it. So don't think that is. But I liked it. I thought the taste was more robust and distinct and fuller, but my palate likes the more refined taste. So I'll still go back to the I think he has one called, it's basically a Longsdale, I believe, called like Cervantes Fino. Mm-hmm. And that, what is that torpedo one that we reviewed earlier? What is that Vitola called?
Torpedo Tiempo, I believe.
Yeah. So My palate still likes those other two more than this one, just because I like more. I like less strength. I feel like I like the more balance of the other two as compared to this one. But nonetheless, I really enjoy this. And you know, if you're looking for something that's stronger, something that'll punch you in the mouth a little bit more, by no means, but like it's not a spice bomb. So if you're looking for that kind of experience, I think this is it, and you'll be pleasantly pleased with it.
Yeah. Yeah, there were two cigars that I smoked at IPCPR in 2016 that caught my attention, and this was one of those two cigars. It's a really nice addition to the Sobremesa line. Gives you a unique experience, so like we've been talking about, additional strength over the previous Vitolas. For those that enjoyed the original release and that are okay with a little more strength, then this would be a no-brainer for them. And being that it's a smaller Vitola, it also it lends itself to a bit of a shorter smoke, and also the price point's a little lower, but it still brings those great flavors and kind of that unique nuances to it as well. So I highly recommend that people go and seek this out if you're okay with the bump up in strength. I think it's still a very fantastic cigar. So getting into scores, you gave this an 8.53. I gave it a 7.67. How do you think your score matched up with your experience?
It scored up pretty well. Just for comparisons, do you have our spreadsheets open to see what I gave it the torpedo one?
It would take me a couple minutes to pull it up.
Okay, never mind. But no, I think with this score, it's in line with what I expected in my experience. Whenever time, and Saka has a tendency to do this really well. He hits flavors really well, and he hits it in distinct fashion. And whenever something like that happens, and there's a good a good merriment of flavors, then it's always going to be a good cigar. Regardless if I like the flavors per se or not. And this is no different. So to that extent, coupled by really good construction, then that 8.5 makes total sense to me.
Yeah, I think my score matches up with my experience. I mean, I really enjoyed this cigar. I definitely see it as a different cigar than the original Sobremesa Vitola releases, which it is because it's got a slightly tweaked blend. But I enjoy them both. I mean, the original Sobremesa it was very smooth, very nuanced. This one has a little bump up in strength and some spice and some pepper and things like that. So they're both very enjoyable, and you can go to each one of them as different flavor profiles based on what you're kind of feeling like or what your mood is like. So. I wouldn't say choose one over the other. I think they're both fantastic. So, it's just another good cigar from Steve along in the Sobremesa line that gives you a different experience. So it's always nice when it's supposed to be different and it is different. It's not just like it's really like the original and things like that. So it's different enough that I think it warrants a try. So, any final thoughts from you on this cigar?
No, go buy it, go try it. Vast majority of guys on the forum and the friends that I know, they love it. And a lot of those guys say top cigar of the year. So very good things talked about on this one for sure.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching, and catch us on the next video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll get notified when we post a new one, but also go to the website and check out the full written review, developingpalates.com. Subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.